Eudoxia Tsarina of Russia. Looks like a Circassian. Couldn't find anything else in the pictures. That might be her image. This is her son. I believe he rose to Tsar of Russia. He may not have. So, glad to be doing this. Need to get some of the stuff off my screen. I wasn't the first one to do this. I learned how to do this off of watching guys off of YouTube. You know, just simply looking up names and doing what they used to tell me to do in school, looking stuff up and researching. This lady was Queen Charlotte. She was married to George III. She was from Germany. This man was a famous map maker. I believe it says here he was Spanish or Portuguese. Okay, and there's another Russian, Alexander Pushkin. I love when they don't even try to hide the fact that they were black. You know, I just keep looking and keep finding more and more and more. And I also love how they don't try to place him as an African. I don't see anything here about him being an African, which is the way they try to play off most of the blacks found in this time in Europe. However, you know, we'll see with the heights that melanated people rose to, or, you know, just the power structure in place shows that they were not slaves, not imported from Africa, that this is the blood of kings, the nobility. And, you know, I started getting into Britain. You know, I studied Germany a lot, and I started getting into Britain, and I started finding some of this stuff. Now, I remember reading somewhere that this was painted by Prince Rupert, and it's a self-portrait. This man, Alexander Falconbridge, also says that he's British. I was unable to find a picture of this man, but what's interesting about him is that it says that he was a surgeon on a slave ship. I wasn't aware that they had such things. Sounds made up. Okay, this guy is another Russian. And like I said, this guy, they put the African stuff in there. And he might have been brought in there from Africa. You know, black people are all over the world. I studied into the war for independence between Ireland and Britain. And it's a very, very interesting time. Oliver Cromwell, the fall of the king. I believe one of the kings was executed, and then the monarchy returned seven years later. So anyway, this is Lord Hugh O'Neill, one of the leaders of the Irish Rebellion. As we've seen already, a lot of these pictures are changed. I don't know. I guess I just have a feeling about this guy. Okay, we're getting back to some British people. This is Sir George Paulet, part of the British nobility. I believe he lived somewhere in the 1500s. I'm going to keep the video simple. I'm just going to show some pictures and really just practicing. I never made a video before. Okay, now, this is very interesting. As you see, this is a picture of Charles Wingfield. This is a very good website. It's got a really extensive history, a lot of wing fields. I get the feeling that they must be black too. Haven't had the time to look any of them up, but I think you can see the link on the screen. Very interesting. Guibaldo. Guibaldo is Italian. A duke in 1500s. This is another lineage of the kings and the British nobility. You know, what I started doing was just looking for these names and these lists of people and just looking them up and looking at their picture. And I feel this important because my people did a lot to hide all this. And, you know, I'll look up the exact Bible verse, but I know it's in Deuteronomy. The Most High commands us to have fair weights and measures. To me, that means that I'm to deal with fairness with everybody. Whenever I see anything that's not right, I'm to do my best to make it right. So I'm glad to make this video. Here's Francis, the King of France. Actually, the Franks would have been at that time. Very interesting. Here we go. They're not even trying to hide it, guys. It's just straight up. Dude was black and British. No baloney about him being an ex-slave from the U.S. No baloney about him being a royalist, a supporter that fought on the side of the... No, he's just straight up British, it says. He's a scholar. No baloney about Africa either. And I got some videos coming. I got some kings and queens from Africa, you know. Much love to my African brothers and sisters. Francis Drake, the most popular British privateer of all time, Sir Francis Drake. They don't even try to hide it. Walter Raleigh, also very famous Briton from that time period. Here's some more. Richard Boyle, first Earl of Cork. All British nobility. James Stewart, Earl of Moray, British nobility. Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley, British nobility. So if they're British nobility, how are they former slaves? If they're British nobility, how are they brought in from Africa or these other stories? I haven't got into it yet, but I read that King George, or one of the monarchs, got into financial trouble and got bailed out by the Bank of England and the Illuminati. And that was probably, it seems like, when they might have lost the power. But, you know, we know our Bible, and we know that Israel was kings and queens of the earth. And here's proof. Britain was a black nation. William Herbert, Earl of Pembroke. This picture looks a little bit like the other one, but you can see that there's others. Charles Blount, Earl of Devonshire. Roll it up, Charlie. And that concludes my video. Thank you. Hiya, hiya.